back to the work. Let's get back to the work. So I want to talk to you about New Year's resolutions. I did a video on it, and you know, my profile page here, the profile page on HAPS is awesome because I can share videos with you. I can put comments up there. I think we can do polls on there. I don't know, but the profile page has all of the replays, but it also has other things. So check that out. Anyway, I just did a video called Stop Using Resolutions or something like that. And so, hello, Matt from Joshua Tree. Joshua Tree, my friend is in Joshua Tree right now. That's crazy. Good to see you, Matt. So if you're trying to comment on Facebook and I'm not replying, I'm really sorry, but I'm trying to get there. Okay. So they're working it out. HAPS is going through a big thing. So at the new year, it's always, listen, there is nothing at all wrong with having the feeling like you want to expand, you want to grow, you want to get more in alignment with what you want to attract in your life or what you want to be in your life. There's nothing wrong with that. But let's talk about resolutions, New Year's resolutions, okay? If you have done New Year's resolutions or you're going to do them, please put it into the chat if you're going to do them or if you have done that. We're going to talk about some statistics first, and I'm going to give you some ideas to shift around because it might help you a lot. Okay, so put it in the chat there. Hello, Sung-Young, Mumbai. Good to see you. All right. I know there's pixelation. Can't help that. Good morning. Good evening. All right. So here's the deal. I've done research about this, of course, but they say that about 47% of Americans, you gave up on New Year's resolutions. You didn't give up on New York resolutions, did you? I'm just kidding. So you have, hello, Flora. Happy New Year. About 47% of Americans say they're going to do resolutions, and they do them. They do them. Made and kept about 3 or 4 in my 40-some odd resolutions. That's about right. That's about right. So here's the statistics. Even on the video, I was like, it's this or this, but you know, there isn't a middle ground. But basically, the statistic. Thank you for the Happy New Year award. Thank you. The statistics are that, guess what? 80 to 85% of people that make New Year's resolutions on New Year's Eve or New Year's Day, they end up quitting them by January 12th. January 12th. It's like more than 80%. That's not even 2 weeks. Some say it's January 8th. Some say it's 12th. Sometimes 14th. I kept saying it's around the 12th. So you got a little less than a week and a half before you give up on your resolutions. Isn't that incredible? Most people give up on their resolutions. They sure do. They sure do. It's not any fault of your own. We're going to talk about that in a second. So it's not any fault of your own. And this is a very interesting thing. Do you know who keeps their resolutions most? Who keeps the resolutions most? And I always forget that. Is Gen X? Gen X is the youngest one? I always forget. Gen X, is that the youngest one? The youngest people right now? Gen X? I think it is. Gen X keeps their resolutions far more than other generations. And I'm wondering, this is just what I'm thinking, is that when you're younger, you have more energy. But that's kind of like, that's so generalized or whatever. But that's another statistic. So let's talk about why it is that so many people give up on their resolutions. First of all, let's talk about what a resolution is. A resolution, if you think about it right now, when you say, I'm going to make a New Year's resolution. Oh, the other thing about it is, guess what? It is what? It is almost always about money or health. Almost always about money or health. Always about money or health, right? So why would you make a millennials? Okay, Matt, I believe you. Whatever the youngest generation is right now. So here's the deal. When you use the word and the concept of resolution, it has a vibration of resistance. This is really big. I'm going to go through these pretty quickly, but just know this. Resolution has a vibration of resistance because it is a pushing vibration in general. I mean, you could be saying this in a different way. It could be like, I'm done drinking and I'm going to do this. I'm going to finally start to work out. I'm done with that. I'm going to do this. I'm done. I'm going to. I'm done. I'm going to. So there's this resistant vibration in resolution. Say yes in the chat if you understand what I'm talking about. Because most people are starting their New Year's resolutions not from a place of curiosity or wonder or expansion. They're starting it usually, not all. Usually they're starting it because what's going on? I don't have any. I don't. Turn off your camera and add video effects when you are not in the program. Am I okay? Can you just put in there if I'm okay? Because it just came up about CPU issue. Am I okay? Sorry. Let me just see. I know there's latency in the comments. Thank you for commenting, everybody. We're okie dokie. Okay. I don't know why. Haps is going through a whole thing. Okay. So it has this feeling of resistance. What you resist persists. When you don't, thank you so much, everyone. When you have that vibration of resistance, you are definitely in this place where it's kind of like you're setting yourself up for failure. You're setting yourself up for failure. Let me ask you this. When you go on a diet, most people have tried changing things. It's almost always because you want to push something away instead of going open and more clear. It's more clear than the beginning. Thank you so much. I see that. So here's the deal. The idea of resolutions in general is not good from the start. So it is no surprise to me that most people don't do it, because when you or I or anyone does something from this place of pushing a rock up a hill, you have already put yourself in a position where you could fail, and it goes way up. It goes way up, right? So if you've ever had a diet, it's like, don't eat chocolate, don't do this, don't have carbs, don't have this, don't have that, don't. And if you have listened to me before, and many of you have, you create what you defend against. So every time that you're trying to stop being lazy, I want to be more proactive. Stop being a loner, I want to be more social. You're pushing away the thing that you're going to end up focusing on. And then you're just going to create exactly what you defend against. Hear that very well. Hear that very well. And you probably need to hear it again. Take a deep breath with me. Hello, Janet. Happy New Year. So what do we do? What do we do? If you have a curiosity, because we all do, we're growing, we're desirous beings, we want to experience, we want to expand and grow and everything. First of all, you have to ask yourself this. If you really want to, say your resolution is, I'm finally going to write the book. Let's just say that. I'm finally going to write the book. Now, here's the deal. There's a reason you haven't written the book already. There's a reason that you haven't written the book already. Otherwise, you would have written it. You would have written it already, but you haven't. So here's the question. I want to write the book. I want to start the business. I want to lose 10 pounds. I want to quit smoking. I want whatever it is. Here's the question, and you've heard it a million times, but you have to honestly, I can't underline this enough. Why are you doing it? What is the intention? Why do you want to lose the weight? Why do you want to write the book? Why do you want to do that? Why? Why? You have to ask yourself why. You have to. Because if you ask yourself why is it that I want to write this book? And you really shut the fuck up and you listen. You might get an answer like, oh, because I want people to like me. You might get an answer, I want to write the book so that I'm famous. You might get, doesn't matter, but you have to be honest. Why am I writing this book? Why do I need to lose the weight? Why do I want to quit smoking? Why? You have to be really honest. And if that answer that you get, the truth, not what you're like, well, of course, because there's the level here, and then there's a level here. That makes sense? So here's the deal. You have to know why you're doing it. And if you come up with an answer that you're doing it because you want people to like you, there's nothing wrong with that. You're immediately putting yourself in a position, something like that, that it's not going to work. But let's say the book. If you're doing it because you truly are like, I've got a story and I really want to tell it. It feels really good. It feels like I want to get this out. That's a very different reason. Very different. A lot of people write books just because it's the business thing to do. Do you get it? There's nothing wrong with that. I'm here to help you to attract positive results and make it easy and flowing. Don't do a resolution. I'll keep that word resolution for a second. That feels like you're going to push a rock up a hill. Now, let's address this. Everything that you do in your life, if it's not in your comfort zone, there's going to be a little bit of resistance, but there's a very different resistance to being like, I want to learn how to write the book. I want to get the book right, even though if it's hard and I have to switch it around, I have to rewrite whatever. It feels like that's what you want to do, even though it's hard. Do you understand? So the first thing you have to ask yourself why. You have to ask yourself why. That's number one. Why are you having the resolution? Okay? And if it has that feeling of pushing a rock up a hill and going upstream, don't do it. Does this make sense? Anyone that's watching right now, put a 1 in the chat if this is making sense or it's making you think or rethink about goals in your life. Because the other word you can use is you can use a goal. You can use goals. Now let's talk about goals. I have some notes here. Hold on a second. Okay. So, 1, thank you. Goals. Let me turn this down a second. Hold on. Oh, just do that. That's better. Okay. Juan, you were supposed to write Juan. Remember? Instead of using resolution, make a goal. Instead of using resolution, say, I'm going to make a goal. That's so much better. And goals have a whole other thing, but it's a much better thing to have, I have a goal instead of a resolution. Because in general, always in general, a goal has a better vibrational feel to it. It's like, yeah, I want to do that. That's the goal I want. I'm going to make this much money this year. I'm going to write the book, or I'm going to exercise more, or whatever it happens to be. Make it a goal instead of a resolution. Right away, that helps, right? My goals are very larger than life. Well, you got me. I'm telling you, Suyag, you got me right at the perfect time, because that's what I want to talk about. Is that most people make goals that are way too big. Way too big. If you watched my how to be productive video, I talk about goals. You can watch it on my YouTube channel. Some of you are there now. You have to chunk things down. You have to chunk things down, right? You can have a super objective, but you have to have minor objectives. Because if you just have, I'm going to be a multimillionaire, it's going to be too big. And or I'm going to be a movie star, or I'm going to, whatever it happens to be. You got to have a little goal, a little goal, a little goal. Hi, Marilyn. A little goal, a little goal, a little goal. I teach this and I call it the turtle theory. Talk about in my video. Is that who always wins the race? Who had goals that were too big for them? The hare. But the tortoise, little bit, little bit, little bit, little bit. If you do not, I'm telling you, if you do not have, break it down, chunk it down, chunk it down, chunk it. This is very coachy-woachy. That's what I call it, coachy-woachy. If you don't, you are definitely going to be one of the people that quit, that fail. There's no doubt about it. Okay? Because you can affect change in your life. You can grow. There's no doubt about it. We are growing all the time. So, and let me talk about this a second. And really celebrate reaching the smaller goals. That's a great observation. You have to be like, yes, I could go into a lot of details about this, but we're not going to, but you're exactly right. You celebrate the goals along the way. And so, I just lost my train of thought. Okay. So you want to expand, you want to affect change in your life. You feel like you want to have different experience, right? I want to say the thing about the why again. Because if you're doing your thing because you think something's wrong with you, you're never going to do it. It's not going to happen. You have to do your goal because you know things are right. Now I know you're like, well, why would I have a goal then if I'm not trying to right or wrong? No. You have to look at it backwards. And this is why I say make revelations instead of resolutions. So have a goal to make revelations, which means changing your mind about yourself. Because if you're doing this because you feel like there's something wrong with you, and this is why most people do it, it's never going to work. So what you want to do is you want to make revelations, meaning you have to change your mind. You have to change your mind. Thank you for the high five award. That's right. Just do it is good too. So you have to change your mind. This is really important. I say this in the video too. The Course in Miracles has a beautiful, perfect line. It says, do not seek to change the world, but seek to change your mind about the world. Your body, your career, your personality, your whatever is all part of the world. Change your mind about the world, and then everything's going to change. Doesn't mean that you don't do work. Doesn't mean that you're just going to sit there. Although, on some level, you do. You just sit there, and you see what comes up, and the right thing comes up, and then you're like, okay, I'll do that. Oh, the right thing comes up. I'll do that. Right? Now, from A Course in Miracles, what he says is, he says, self-initiated plans are always from the ego. Here, this is a mic. Here's the mic. Self-initiated plans are always from the ego. So when you're like, I have the plan, I know exactly what it is. Boom. It's your ego speaking. It's your ego speaking. But if you have this kind of, instead of a self-initiated plan, usually from here, I know I'll write a book. I know I'll lose the weight. I know. No. But something in you goes, I really love flowers. Flowers turn me on. It feels really good. I really, there's all these synchronicities with flowers in my life. That seems good. I want to go down that path. That feels good. Then do the fucking flowers. But if you're like, oh, flowers are going to make me $1 million. And now I'm going to make $1 million with the flowers. And then I'll da-da-da-da-da. Oh, that is a self-initiated plan, and that's your ego. We all have an ego. So you have to change your mind. You have to have a revelation. You have to change your mind about the world, mind about yourself, you have to change your mind. The mind is the source of everything, because you have to be, as it says in Science of Getting Rich, you have to be what? Creative and not competitive. The competitive vibration in the world and with yourself is the opposite of the flow. Trust is a tattoo that I have right here, right? Trust. You have to trust. The work that I'm telling you to do right now is not easy. But boy, when you get it and you do it, you're going to start to be like, why was I so hard on myself before? Why was life so difficult? It's because of this. Because you believe you have a problem. And if you believe you have a problem, you're going to fall right into the resolution thing. And if you fall right into the resolution thing, you're going to fail again. And then what does it do? What does it do? It confirms that you have a problem because you failed. Oh, well, of course that happened because I'm a failure, right? Everything is an inside job, friends. So you have to have, in this year, make an intention. Intention is a much better word than resolution. Intention to have revelations. Make an oh, I don't know what's going on with that. Make an intention to have revelations. Make an intention to know more about you. Make an intention to be more in the flow. Now, this is the last thing, and then we're going to wrap up. Your beingness is more important than your doingness. So have an intention to be more and do less. Be more, do less. It's the completely opposite reason why there are New Year's resolutions anyway. Because it's all about do. No, be. Do you want to be peaceful? Be peaceful. Thank you, Syed, for subscribing. You want to be happy? Be happy. Don't go try to do things to make you happy. This world is completely opposite of really the flow of love, of joy, of God, if you want to say it. Because when you, hi Peter, good to see you, Happy New Year. This world is completely opposite because it keeps telling you change the outside, change the outside, change the outside. No, because the more you try to change the outside, the first thing it's telling you is there's something wrong on the inside. But if you have an inspiration, Happy New Year, Peter, an inspiration, and you're like, wow, I'm going to have the courage to follow this thing about the flowers. Oh, I have this inspiration. I'd really like to see that movie. Who knows why I see the one movie? And then that movie changes your life. Who knows? Because ultimately what happens is you end up, you and I and everyone, we end up thinking we have to change everything out here so that we're happy. No. You have to be happy first. You have to be peaceful first and have the courage to go with the flow and allow things to come here, to come in. So don't make any New Year's resolutions. I'm telling you, don't do it. Make New Year's revelations about changing your mind about yourself and the world and others and all of that. And I know you wanted, I mean, I don't know if you want what you wanted, but what I'm proposing to you is the work, right? The work applies through everything that I teach, right? So, all right, so let's stop, and thank you, Girl Rush. That's very nice of you to say that. Let's stop and see if there's comments or questions from you all about resolutions. And most people are like, yeah, resolutions don't work. So I'm not telling you anything new. But give me a 1 or a question or comment if you feel like there was anything that I said today that made you go, aha, or it confirmed a point that you've been trying to make with yourself. Is there any of that? Just put it into the chat. Once again, let me tell you, if you're on Facebook, I'm really sorry. I don't see Facebook comments. I just don't see Facebook comments. It just doesn't come up. YouTube, I do. Go to my YouTube, subscribe to my YouTube. Juan, thank you. Thank you, Girl Rush. Juan, very good. Very good. Any comments or questions? Hey, guess what generation I'm in? Guess what generation I'm in? Anyone want to say anything? Otherwise, we're going to wrap up. Okay, I want to keep these Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. I want to give them about 35 minutes. Yeah, 35 minutes. Okay, Boomer. Okay, Boomer. I'm on the last year of the Boomer. Last year. I think a Boomer is older than me, but whatever. So these are all these Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Just so you know, I broadcast for sure this time, noon Eastern, 9 Pacific in the United States. On Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Monday is a motivation show, so it could be a lot of different things. Wednesday is always going to be a what's it called? Course in Miracles show, and then Fridays is also going to be different topics. Okay, I'll probably be broadcasting in between like we did before, but those are my mainstays. So put them in your calendar if you get anything out of what I do. All right. So speaking of that, if you feel like you gained anything from what I taught today, then you can always sponsor me here. You can sponsor me on Patreon. I would really appreciate that. This is how I make a living, and I'm always very clear about that. If you're new, so ask and you shall what? Receive. And HAPS is really great because in HAPS you actually could sponsor me. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 9 Pacific. That's right, 9 a.m. Pacific time. So, all right, friends. Whoa! I just had a whole bunch of comments. What the heck? Oh my God! Hello, Ladderman, Craig. There you go, Craig. What? Hi, Floor. World Creator. Good to see you. I see you. Be not do because we already are. That's good. Number 1 for sure. Great day. You're so welcome. I'm just looking through Gen X. And you can go to my website, attractpositiveresults.com. You can sign up for my newsletter too there. So you can find out everything that I'm doing. So, all right, everybody. I love you so much. Happy 2021. As it says in the Course in Miracles, make this year different by making it all the same. Think about that for a moment. I'm going to leave you with that. That's something to think about. All right, everybody. Have an incredible rest of your day. I'm sure I will see you again really soon here on HAPS and on YouTube, and I will talk to you really soon.